Are you ready for progress? Oh, taste and see, there's a word for you and me. For progress. Serving the uncompromising truth makes us truly free. For progress. Open your heart, your mind, your soul, he'll make you whole. For progress. Preaching with power. It's the relevant leadership strategist.
Good evening, everybody. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is another great day for us to have a discussion. So Monday, we were able to hang out with some millennials for Millennial Monday at 9 p.m. We're coming back next Monday at 9 p.m. On Tuesday, we had our college students for college, COVID, and Christianity. And today, we have our high schoolers. And it's high school, shelter in place, and holiness. These young, bright young minds, they're going to kind of share with you some of their thoughts and perspectives as it relates to what's kind of happening in our world currently, and or what they're just kind of dealing with in their own world and wanting some information as to how to handle that particular thing. Now, if I were you, I'd get my kids or tag my kids so that they could, any high schooler or college as well, it doesn't really matter. I think that they have been giving such gems and dropping such nuggets that is going to bless everybody. So parents, I think you need to tune in because they may be able to give you an insight as to how to minister to your high schooler in there. And so we have two vets today who's been with us my one has been with us since we began it. And then we have another one who has stepped on the scene. I think last week was her first week. And then we got two neophytes. We got two newbies, freshmen to the live broadcast. And so we're going to bring them up one at a time. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. They're going to give you their name. They're going to give you what grade they are in. And they're going to give you any extracurricular activities that they have done in high school, their name, their grade, extracurricular activity. All right. So let's start with our North Carolina connection. She is my niece, spiritual niece of mine, excellent young lady, super bright. And we'll bring her up first and let her introduce herself. Hey, girlie.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. My name's Destiny. I'm a rising senior, and I play basketball. I'm also in the NAACP, National Honor Society, etc.
Etc. She says etc. She means that. It's like so many things she does. It'll take the whole hour. I love it. I love it. All right. We also have the vet of the crew. She's been with us from the very beginning. Ms. Zion Brown. Hey, girlie.
Hey, my name is Zion Brown, and I'm a rising junior at Marlboro County High School, and I am a cheerleader.
All right. She's also my daughter, my like blood daughter.
Yeah, I'm his daughter.
And we have another young lady who is super bright. I mean, her smile just lights up the entire room. She's one of my favorite. Well, all my kids are my favorite. All the ones that go Soul Truth are my favorite. Let me go ahead and clear that up right now. All of them my favorite. But it's just something about Trinity that we completely appreciate. So let me bring her to the front. She's one of our new ones. Hey, Trinity.
Hi.
Hey, introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Trinity. I attend Chesterfield High School. I am now a senior, and I cheer.
You're a senior?
Mhm.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, amen. And then I have another young man. You know, we always got to try to pepper some testosterone in the conversation. And I've known this young man for a while. I mean, he has been a part of our life, well, before his birth, and then even after his birth. He is a native of this area, Florence, and my godson. So I figure, why not bring him on? Trey,
Hey,
how you doing, man? Introduce yourself.
okay, so my name is Trey McElveen. I'm a rising junior, and I play basketball for South Florence.
So first and foremost, I got to really wrap my mind around the fact that I'm talking to juniors and seniors, uh, because I always look at all of y'all as just my babies. But now understand and talk to some of the college kids; they'll tell you that I never move away from calling you my babies. You're gonna always be that, just period, point blank. I don't care how old you get. I'll be 100, and you all will be whatever age by the time I get 100, and you're still gonna be my babies. So just know that, and know it's a term of endearment. Um, do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this live, first and foremost, check in, let us know that you're watching, and go ahead and speak to these bright young people. They're going to bless you today. And then I need you to do another favor for me. Tag a high school student. Tag a high school student. They're going to be blessed. Yeah, they grow up so fast, Bishop. Oh, they grow up just way too fast. It seemed like it was slow at first, and then it just sped up. I'm looking at Trey, and I'm thinking, Jesus, man, how did you get that old? And voice trying to get deep. Where that happened? Tag a high school student. Share this live. I promise you, you will not regret, one, tuning in and listening, and two, sharing it so that someone else can be blessed. All right. So guys, let's jump right in. We're a little late, not because of anything else other than, man, it's just been difficult getting on the internet for some reason. And so I'm going to have to either talk to my internet provider or the medium that we use to project, because I'm having some trouble just linking. But all that's behind us now. I want to start first and foremost with maybe any questions that you guys may have for me. Now, this is the segment where you can ask me absolutely anything, and we'll do our best to answer that question. And then if you don't have a question, I promise you I got a couple of them for you.
I have a question.
Uh-oh. Yes, ma'am.
So, in light of like everything going on, specifically in the Black community, as high schoolers, I guess it kind of feels like I don't want to say helpless, but we don't really know how to interact with that or help. And so maybe what do you think we could do like at our age when it feels like we can't help?
Great question. And
Like even voting wise, because I mean, even though I turned 18 this year, it would be after the election. So
right. Great question. That's definitely do. A couple of things. Number one, you can, since you're a little more savvy with the internet and surfing and those kind of things, you can gather pertinent information that's needed to kind of help educate your parents on some of the things that's going on as it relates to people running for office, whether it's local office, mayors, governors, senators, the president, and those who are running to be president. Gather all the information that you can, and then sit down with your parents who can vote and start talking to them about some of the things that you found through your research. Sometimes parents can get so busy that they don't really have time to do due diligence to vet the people who are running for these offices and to be elected. So with your ability to kind of navigate through these digital streets, as Pastor Rashonda would say, you can gather and collect information, sit us down and say, hey, I want to talk to you about this particular candidate. This is what I found out. This is what I see that's happening there. Here are the things that they supported. Here are the things they do not support. They voted against this. They voted for that. They have a platform that speaks towards the needs of the African American community. This particular one doesn't have a platform, but they're trying to use the African American community. Your ability to just dig that stuff out, I think, would go miles towards helping. You're not helpless. Number two, it would be to begin supporting our own people. Not attempting to bash anything or anybody, but you know, there's certain clothing lines, there's certain stores that are not, they don't cater to our people. As a matter of fact, there's a few of them who literally say that I did not create these clothings for you. And instead of asking your parents to get you those clothes, you know, choose something else. The other night or the other day, I started talking about FUBU. I don't even know if FUBU's around anymore. I haven't seen any clothing for it, but I remember when we came up, we used to wear FUBU, for us, by us. That's what FUBU was about. And man, everybody attempted to get that line of clothing because, again, we wanted to support the Black businesses. So you guys can begin to support those things. And so, you know, don't wear Tommy Hilfiger. Go find some other Black designer who's making quality clothing and begin to support that. Because see, the problem is your age group is so impressionable. They want to be in the in crowd, right? And so the only way I can be in the in crowd is if I'm wearing what the in crowd is wearing. I learned yesterday that Timberlands literally have a noose and a tree on the boot. I didn't know that. I mean, I didn't know that. And maybe that might be hypersensitive. I don't know. But just what I'm saying is kind of looking into some of those particular pieces and begin a revolution as relates to we will support us. Number three, become designers and creators and originators yourself. You create hair products, you create clothing, you create shoes, you create software and digital platforms so that we don't have to use any other social media but yours. You come up with it. Do what Apple did. Start in a garage with a bunch of beat up material and pull some bright people together and design a business that will grow into what Apple is today. So I think those three things are certainly ways that you can step into the movement of making effective change. Hopefully I answered that.
You did. Thank you.
Yeah. Someone else, you got a question for me? All right. Okay. So you don't have a question. I absolutely do. Create your own clothing blogs, YouTube channels, etc. Anything that is an asset to your ethnic group and then the world. That is exactly right. So here's my question. I mean, let's just deal with the elephant in the room, the pink elephant or the black elephant or the red, the black, the green elephant, whichever color you want to give it. And that is the current state of our country. And many of you, like I, had an opportunity. Well, I don't even want to call it an opportunity, maybe even forced to see that video. Now, I know you all have seen it because that's kind of where your world is, in that digital world, when George Floyd was executed, lynched on the street of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And the world kind of erupted on the heels of one young lady being killed, from what I understand, and then Ahmaud prior to her being gunned down in the street. So with Floyd, kind of just erupted in this emotional, just I'm done with this. Talk to me about, talk to us rather, about how you're kind of feeling emotionally about what's happening currently in our world. What's going on in your mind space from a high schooler's perspective? Anybody can jump in. Breonna Taylor, that's her name, right? Thank you. If nobody speaks, I'm gonna elect one of you. All right, Zion, since you're the veteran, you go first.
Uh, okay. Um, my thoughts. It's just I don't know. Racism never really made sense to me. It's like why why would you discriminate somebody because of their skin color? Because if we were to stand, side by side and both get a cut, we both bleed the same. So I don't understand why you would treat us, well, black people, any different or any other race any different because we all bleed the same and we all come from God, and so it never really made sense to me. So anytime I hear about a black person, getting killed or shot, it's just I don't know. I really don't. My feelings are always mixed because I really don't know how to feel about it because it's not I'm I'm not used to it, but it's like it's nothing new to me.
Hmm.
Like yeah, it'll always be because of our skin color. So it's just like I don't I'm in a world where I'm always afraid of getting judged by the hue of my skin. So it's just like I don't know how to feel. I always have mixed emotions about racism.
Wow. So one of the things you said that I thought was kind of powerful and disheartening. I mean, my heart just kind of sunk when you said it because I believe is really what's happening. You said, I'm not used to it, but I'm used to it. So it's almost like it's normal that the way we're treated and the way we kind of have to deal
Right.
with certain things is becoming a normal situation. So it's not abnormal to hear that. That is disheartening, man. That's just that's
Right.
hard to hear. Hard for me to hear as a parent, and hard I should be for the world to hear because of just that one statement. You mean to tell me that we're used to being lynched on the street? That's kind of what we're used to, and yeah, that's hard. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. Then you said we all bleed the same blood. I love that. I love that. It's all going to be red at the end of the day. All right, somebody else jump in.
Going off of what Zion said, it kind of feels like nothing's changing and kind of like history is repeating itself because, I mean, the riots and the looting is very similar to like Rodney King in LA. I think that was in the 90s. And then just the way that George Floyd was killed and him saying, I can't breathe, that's like just like Eric Garner in 2014, I believe. And so it's just like, we've gone this whole way since slavery, Jim Crow, and everything, but still we're dealing with racism and people disliking us just for our skin color. And I don't know, it's very, I guess, personally, I feel angry about it, upset, but I try to channel that anger and educate my friends through social media. But even then, it's just like I was talking to one person last night, and they said they didn't even realize this was going on. And as a Black person, it's like we have to deal with this like on a daily basis. So it's just like it's disheartening, and yeah, I'm trying my best, but it's kind of a hard thing to get used to. Like, no one should have to get used to racism.
Yeah, just listening to both of you talk, I'm telling you, I'm sitting here trying to fight back tears because I'm thinking, why should our children be used to that? Why is it something that you all kind of just have to deal with? We got to make a change so that you all are not having to deal with this and it becomes a norm. All right, somebody else hop in.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you, son. We can hear you. Go right on.
All right. Um, when I first heard about that, I didn't know what to think, because it's like, why would a police officer do that to someone who has equal rights as them? So I'm just kind of torn between why the officer would do that, and I understand why people are protesting, because I mean it's been going on for decades and decades. So it just shocked me whenever that happened. So, but again, it is kind of normal, like Zion said. So that's that's what I got to say about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you're a young black man. Tell me, are you driving yet?
All right.
You're driving now?
I'm about to. I plan to go try for my license soon. So
So how do
hopefully
you
I'll
feel
pass
about,
that.
how would you feel about driving and getting stopped by a police as a young black man?
What'd you say?
How would you feel driving and getting stopped by a police officer while you're driving?
Uh, um, I would probably be kind of scared, considering like how, cause of police brutality. So I would just obey what the officer tells me, but sometimes that still doesn't work, because the officer will pull the trigger and you don't even have nothing on you. So I just I would kind of feel scared, but I'll just pray. I mean, hope
Wow.
for the best. Hopefully, it doesn't
Yes, sir.
turn out how other cases have been.
Yes, sir. Trinity?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. It's a little delay, but we can hear you.
Y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Well, person, so it gets to me, but at the same time, I don't know how to actually react to racism. But it's just hard to see like the same race as me go through all that, because it's like it's just crazy. And I mean, to me, it's like there's not like a way to fix it, but
You muted yourself, Trinity. Okay, you're unmuted now. Let's go.
okay, I got to start over.
No. Start where you were.
Okay, I got to start over.
No. You can continue from where you were.
Okay, but yes, okay. See, I just get like very emotional because it's crazy racism, because it hits me, but it don't, because I really, to me, I don't really experience racism a lot, like around my area, but social media wise, it's crazy.
Well, one of the things that I'm appreciative of is that you've not experienced it, which was going to be my next question. So for you, you said you've not experienced it, which is good. Great. I'm grateful to God for that. So, any of the other three of you, have you ever experienced what you would consider racism or someone treating you differently because of your skin color?
Well, as I stated before, I do a lot of like social media posts, especially on Snapchat, about cases like this. And so occasionally I'll have someone, a non-Black person, swipe up and try to argue with whatever I said. And specifically, earlier this year, I think someone was saying, like, a non-Black person was like calling people the N-word or whatever on Snapchat. So I called him out on it, and like in the middle of it, he just started using racial slurs against me, and saying, well, it's just a word, it's not that big a deal. And I wouldn't say, I guess I kind of, using the phrase again, I used to it because people swipe up on my stories all the time and are arguing and saying racist things. So I kind of just have learned how to deal with them and just say, okay, like just leave them in their ignorance and I'll just end up blocking them. But it is a little hard to go through. And then even when I was younger, it wasn't like racist because I was very young. So I don't think they had that intent or they didn't know what they were doing. But growing up in a predominantly white school, I would just always get asked questions like why my skin was so dark or why my hair was so curly. And just being told on multiple occasions that I would look better if I straightened my hair or I look better with weave-in, and just those little comments. They may not be blatantly racist, but they do have an effect on how I see myself. So.
Wow, really? So they literally said to you that you would look better if your hair was straightened?
Straightened. Yeah, that was more so in elementary school. And then in high school, I'd be told that they like me better with weave-in.
Wow. Wow. You look good just the way you are.
Thank you.
You're beautiful just the way you are. Period. Yeah. That's a period moment. Trey or Zion, you all have ever experienced any of that?
Um, I have, but it hasn't been like major. I know sometimes like at school, some of my friends that are white, uh, they might joke around or say something, but it's not really something to joke about. So um, I just like I've had encounters with racism, but it hasn't been like major. So.
Okay. Zion?
Well, I kind of had like two. Well, the first one was really an encounter, but the first one was I have a Caucasian male friend, and so he posted a picture one day, and his friends kind of commented, and he commented back, and he was like, "I love you" with word, and so I was just like, and so I said, you shouldn't put that, especially if he isn't black. And so like Destiny said, they'll be like, well, it's just a word. And so I was like, well, isn't cracker just a word? He would just be like, well, whenever y'all say it, it's offensive. And I was like, whenever y'all say it to us, it's offensive. So it's just, they're both just words. Those words carry a whole lot of weight. So you can't, if you're not African American, you just shouldn't use that word. And even with African Americans, we shouldn't use the word because the word really means ignorance. And from where it came from, it's where it was degrading. So like my second counter was I was in a group and we had to do a project. And so the girl was like, I was reading because, you know, I was trying to get the work done because, you know, we had to get it done at the end of the class period. So she was like, "You're not loud." And I said, "What do you mean I'm not loud?" She was like, "Usually, you know, black girls are all loud." And I said, "No, I'm not a typical black girl, and black girls are not always loud. So, I mean, I'm not loud, and I'm not ghetto. We're not ratchet. We're just not loud." And she was just like, "I kind of like it because you're not that loud." And I was just like, "You know what? Thank you. I appreciate it." Because at that point, that was just a whole bunch of ignorance, and I didn't want to get into that. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, some of this stuff you've never told me. I'm just hearing this for the first time. So it's hard for me to listen to this. That's just hard because one, I wouldn't want any of these faces that I'm looking at on this live broadcast to experience that level of ignorance and stupidity and stupidity. I mean, just call it what it is. That's stupidity, but it's learned ignorance and it's learned stupidity. They learn how to be stupid like that. They learn how to be ignorant like that. It came from somewhere. And so something that I think Destiny said and Trey said, she said you should have told your mom. Well, yeah. Something Destiny and Trey said, I believe, they made mention of some incidents that happened to them. But here's how they qualified the incident. Here's how they gave quality to that incident. They said it's not major. You know, it wasn't major, but they experienced the thing. And I heard it and I kept thinking, it is major. I mean, anytime anyone attempts to say anything to demean, tear down, destroy, break down who you are is major. Now, no, you may not have had handcuffs or guns pointed in your face. I mean, that's major as well, definitely major. But anytime any of them says your hair needs to be straight, or you're not loud like other girls, or whatever they said, using the word nigger or the N word, whichever you want to say it, that is a major hit. It's just like bullets. I mean, it's just like handcuffs, and it's just like noose around our neck. And when we're passive about it, that's kind of, you know, one of the thoughts that we you know, usually we're like, it's all right, you know, okay, I mean, I get it, you're ignorant, we're gonna let you be ignorant, and we don't confront it because we don't feel it's major. It grows and grows and grows and grows. Now, I'm not telling you all that you need to necessarily confront these kind of things. You can if you know how to confront, but there has to be a moment where enough is enough. No, you don't get to joke about that. You know, you don't get to talk about my hair. No, you don't get to talk about my skin color. And no, you don't get to talk about my race or stereotyping my race, that we're always loud or ratchet or whatever the case may be. So I never want you all to feel like anytime you experience something like that, that is not major. It's major. And you can make a big deal about it because it's a big deal. I think Zion put it perfectly, especially when we were talking about that. Right. That First Lady says, if it affected you in any way and you still feel some type of way, it's major. I agree. I think Zion kind of put it very succinctly and bluntly, like her father would probably do, and say, well, cracker is a word. So if nigger is just a word and cracker is just a word, why are you offended if I say cracker? And I shouldn't be offended because you say my nigga or whatever. Talk to me about how you feel about that word nigger. Why how do you feel about it? Now, let me push the envelope a little bit. You know, a lot of the songs that many of us listen to, uh, the rap songs, and even in our day as well. So I'm not leaving Generation X out. That word is used over and over and over again within our race and even outside of our race. Talk to me about how you feel about the word nigga or the N word, if you want to be politically correct. But who cares about politics at this moment? Anybody can jump in.
All right. So I feel like the N word. I mean, it really shouldn't be used at all, but a lot of people use it. So I'm just saying. I'm just thinking. Like I know a lot of white people are like, we made the word, we can say it, but really nobody can. Nobody really can't say it because it's. I mean, it's racist. I mean, it's a horrible word. So it was used to put black people under, and I just feel like nobody should use the word. I don't like the word.
Yeah. Someone else.
Um, I'll go ahead. The word is racist, but us black people made it to where it's like a greeting. If you want, it's like, oh, my nigga, or something like that. So like, I can mix about the word because yeah, it can be it's a word that brings black people down. When like once I think about it, it's like you a nigga, it's calling you ignorant. So it's not we really stress the definition of ignorance. Ignorance can be any color. So it's just like person can be a nigga. So it's not just black people, but we made it to where only black people can say it. So that's how I as niggas and ignorance. That's fine.
I feel like in recent year, or I guess it's been about decades now, but black people are trying to reclaim the word and turn into, like, I guess their reasoning for using it is to reclaim it and turn into something more positive, like brotherhood or sisterhood. Um, Personally, I don't know. I don't think when I hear a black person say it, I don't really think twice about it. But of course, it's different when a non-black person says it. And then even with reclaiming it, it has a long history of, ignorance and racism. So it's kind of hard to switch that definition. Um, I mean, I feel like I'm kind of indifferent towards it because I understand their reasoning for using it now, but still, like Zion said, words carry weight, and so it's kind of hard to switch from something positive to something that was so negative and such a, I guess, part of the dehumanizing process for our ancestors.
All right, Trinity. I know you're kind of experiencing a little bit of connection issues, but if you can unmute yourself and give me your thoughts, we'd love it. I think she's I think she's probably in a bad area. You may need to move into another area of the house, Trinity, so you can get a better signal. So let me ask, then I'll just straight up ask. Some of you all said this word, bad word, shouldn't be used. Deep history, deep rooted history, so on and so forth. Should we use it even amongst one another? Should I call another African American the N-word, even if I'm trying to reclaim it? Should I call? Should I use it? I'm digging today. I know it. Wow, I have silence. Now this y'all about to make me feel like I'm in church. I gotta beg for an amen.
Okay, so what you're saying is should we use it amongst each other?
Yeah. Is it okay for me to use the word with another African American? Should I be okay using that word?
I'm not gonna really kind of lie to you. I don't. It's not that I don't have a problem. Us African Americans made it for, like, you know, like I said, like a greeting. It's just I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't feel any type of way for I wouldn't feel any type of way if another black man said, "What's up?" You know, and called another black man, you know, the N-word, because, you know, that's our word. So, but I would feel some type of way if a white man called him, you know, black man, you know, the N-word. So it's just like, I really don't know if we should call each other that word, because we made it such a, I don't want to say like a positive connotation, but like we just made it our word and how we wanted to make it look, or how we wanted to say.
Okay. Sound like you're running for office, but okay. You played the fence. You went right down the middle. All right, someone else.
If you want a more straightforward answer, like if I had to choose a side, I'd say that I don't mind the use of the word. I mean, I think it's hard to kind of limit who says it, because once a white person says it, then we have a problem, you know. But just within our community, I guess since we're reclaiming it, I don't see an issue with it personally.
Okay.
I don't really know how to back that up. I don't know. I just don't see a big problem with it.
Understood. Either Trey or Trinity, if either you can unmute yourself. All right, Trey, I see you.
Okay. I mean, I experience that every day of someone calling me nigga. I just gotten used to it, but at the same time, I just feel like you shouldn't use it because, again, like I said, it was used to put black people under others, and I just think it's a wrong word to say. But black people say it so much, and I mean, like people, like, I don't think it should be used from black person to black person.
Okay. Trinity, are you able to click in? Oh, bless her heart. You may have to go back by that window that I told you to get away from, Trinity, so that you can get on. You know, I was as I was listening to all you all's answer, I was trying to rewind my mind to when I was in high school. You know, it wasn't that long ago. It was about 5 years ago, about 5 years ago or so, that I was just graduating from high school. And I remember going through high school, and we would use that word as well. I mean, from person to person, brother to brother, we would definitely greet, because I think I heard all of you all say that the way we would greet one another would be kind of with the my N word or whatever. I mean, just in normal conversation. So when I was in high school, I didn't really see much of an issue with it between the African American community. I did see an issue with it outside of the African American community, that nobody else better not say it, but we can say it. It's kind of how I felt then. The older I got, and the more I began to witness the connotation behind that word and even experience it, and when the hate behind their eyes coupled with the sound that came out of their mouth with that word really started doing some things to me. And I started thinking, no, 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 no. It's not even good amongst us. Because if you think about it, even also when we're mad with one another, it's not always just a greeting. Even when we're mad with one another, one of the first things we do is use the exact same word, but we're meaning it the way that it was initially meant to be against us, you know? And so my heart just started turning towards it. I never forget, I went through Freedom School. Marion Wright Elderman does this Freedom School, and I was an intern. So we used to teach over the summer. It was a summer reading program, excellent summer reading program, Freedom School. They would take us down to Tennessee. And in Tennessee, they would take us through something called the rites of passage. I think it was during that time where that word was brought up close and personal to me through that activity called rites of passage. I will never forget it for the rest of my life. And in that activity, they kind of took us through it, and they were using that word over and over and over again. And by the time the activity was over, I was in tears. I mean, I was literally in tears because I finally got it. I got and understood what that word and the weight and the negativity and the spirit behind it actually meant. And so it kind of turned my appetite towards using it and using it at all. Many of you've not had that level of experience yet. You've not gone through any of those things. I always recommend that people should go through the rites of passage for Freedom School. It's an amazing class, and what they were doing was attempting to help us connect to the roots from which we sprung up, as well as the climate of times past that we're so far removed from as relates to how they had to deal with it, that it kind of changed. So that's a great. I'm not saying any of you are wrong. I mean, again, when I was your age, I thought the same thing. I mean, it's just a word, but the older I got, and when I went through that rites of passage, man, it changed my life. I'm going to see if I can't get that rites of passage session up and going again, just so we can kind of take some of the younger people through it. It's emotionally taxing. I'm telling you, I'll never forget how I felt when I went through it. Like I said, at the end of the session, I was in tears. I mean, literally in tears, like I lost somebody. But it gave me an appreciation, one, for my color, and then a disdain for a word that was ingrained in us to be okay. It literally just chunked it out my head. So now when I hear it, no matter whether it's white or black, it's like, no, we can't do that. Another thought, another question. If you had an opportunity to change this world, if you had an opportunity to kind of change what's happening, change what's going on currently, what would be the first thing that you would change if you had the opportunity to just shift and change this world? What would be the very first thing that you would change? I want you to think about it for a second. Trinity, I'm trying to pull on you because it looked like we finally got you moving and you're not frozen and stuck. So you'll be able to talk now. If you had the opportunity to change this world, what would be the very first thing you change? All right, Trinity.
Okay. Here. Okay. The first thing I would change this world. For one, I would like kind of change. Mm,
Hard question, huh?
like yeah, it is a hard question. Like, oh Jesus, because it's a lot of things that need to be changed in this world. It's hard to change it because like everybody have different mindsets and like it'll be kind of hard because people really don't understand. Well, certain people don't understand. Like everybody's different. So I mean,
So if you wouldn't have to worry about nobody bucking against what you would change, what would it be?
can you repeat that?
If you didn't have to worry about resistance, if you didn't have to worry about everybody getting on board, what would be the first thing you change? I'm gonna come back to you because I'm gonna come back to you while you're thinking.
Yeah.
All right. So one of you other ones jump in.
Something that I want to change, what I'm working towards now, like with my education, is the prison population, especially with Black males. Well, Black people in general, but it's mostly Black males that make up most of the prison population. So I want to be a civil rights lawyer, and then just not necessarily like just them being in jail, but also the majority is either a minor offense that they're in for they were given too long of a sentence, or they are in there for they're wrongly accused of something that they didn't do. And so I just want to help bring those statistics down, because when you look at it, it's like Black people make up Black men make up, I think it's 6.5% of the population, but they're 40.2% of the prison population. And so I just want to help bring that percentage down.
I hear you, girl. I believe you'd be the one to do it.
Oh, I have a question. Do I have to pick one? Because I kind of got two.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. So my first thing would be, kind of like listening to us talk would be having other people love people like they love our culture. Just love us instead of loving how we do hair, or loving us instead of how we make our clothes or make food, or how we see, just our culture instead of, love us instead of our culture, basically what I'm saying. But like the second thing would be not having to worry about, like, if my dad or my brothers go out, like I would be calm, if they get stopped, that I wouldn't have to worry about them coming home alive. You know what I'm saying? Like it, because I have a spiritual brother, Chris. He's a police officer, and kind of, I know his perspective, from a cop and a black man. So like I wouldn't have I don't want to worry about,
Yeah, it totally kicked her off. I thought it was getting ready to happen when she started breaking in and out. Uh, Trey, hop on in.
Um, mm,
The one thing you would change, and if it's
hold
two.
on. So your question was if we could change the word.
Yeah, if you could change one thing about the world without worrying about kickback or whatever, what would it be?
Mm,
Oh, Trey, I think you're frozen too. So do we got Zion back? You know, this internet is about to be the devil. I've been having internet issues for this is going to be the devil. Spectrum, I need some help. Facebook Live and StreamYard, I need some help as well. We pay way too much money not to be able to have proper internet service. All right, go ahead, Zion. I think Trey got frozen, so you can unmute yourself and go for it.
what was there another question?
You never
I went back out. It's
yeah we didn't
stopped.
we never heard the last piece.
Y'all didn't hear? Can you hear me now? Okay. So my two things, because you said I could pick. So my two things would be, my first thing would be, how everybody. I just want everybody to love Black people. Like us talking, like listen to us talk. I want everybody to love Black people like they love our culture. Like love us just as much as you love how we do hair. I love how we cook. I love how we dance. I love our music. Just like love that just as much as you love. Like I want y'all to love us just as much as our culture. But the second thing, I wouldn't have to worry about my dad or my brother or my uncles or any, Black male in my, that's in my life would come home alive. But I just, I, I fear, for them. Like, I always fear for them. So like that would be a change. Like I wouldn't have to worry about them, like seeing them on the news or.
All right, Trey, I think we got you back. Let's go.
wait, what did you say?
Yeah, it's the same question. You when you started to try to answer, it clipped you
Oh,
off.
all right. But I was saying that I can't think of a specific word, but the word would probably be like kind of like a respectful word that no one would get offended of because I mean you can get offended. I mean a lot of people would get offended if you call them the N word even when they're black. So it's just I would probably choose a word that's respectful. It won't offend anybody.
Well, I think you might my
Yeah,
you have clipped off when
that's
I
what
was
I think.
telling you. I was saying if you could change the world, WORLD, if there was one thing you could change about the world, what would that be?
You said the word.
World, WORLD.
Oh, world. Oh, world. Okay. One thing I would just want to stop racism, really, Again, racism is going on for years and years, and if people would stop being racist and doing racist acts, I think the world would be a whole lot better.
I believe so too.
That's
I
why.
believe so too. Trinity, if there was one thing you could change about the world,
Okay. Okay. One thing I would change is like to not really judge a book by its cover, because like you can look at somebody, but they could have like a different heart than what you look like may see them as. But like I would say like change how you look at somebody, like to get to like actually know where their heart is, and then maybe it wouldn't be like, you know, if you get,
got it. All right.
yeah.
So I'm going to give you guys a minute or so, kind of like we do every broadcast, and I want you to kind of speak specifically to your age group, the high schoolers. Any encouragement, any challenge, any parting words um, that'll kind of help them through this time. Something we've talked about, or something we've not talked about, but it's on your heart that you'd like to share with the people who are listening live or will be listening to this replay. Each one of you, just take a moment and you'll have the whole screen to minister to, talk to, encourage, challenge any of those areas. A high schooler with anything that's either on your heart or something we've already spoken about, or maybe even further talking about something that you've said that you really want to drive home for them to leave this broadcast with uh, after they've watched it. And so we're gonna go Trey, Trinity, and then Zion Destiny. Trey, Trinity, Zion Destiny. All right, in that order.
Okay. Um, One thing I want people to know is to take chances in high school and take challenges, because if you don't take chances or challenges, you really won't know like if that could have benefited you or not. And I'm just to encourage y'all, just really just stay true to yourself. And about the racism, just if you get into an encounter, stand up for yourself, speak up, because really, you gotta speak up, because if you don't speak up, I mean, who's gonna speak up for you? So I just want to say that, just and about high school, just take it one step at a time. Take some risks, challenges, in order to better life. Because if you take some risks with challenges, you may never know if it benefits you or not. So
All
that's
right.
what I want to leave with. Uh,
Awesome. Thank you, son. Trinity.
Okay. What I want to say is, like during this time, to just like actually pray. But I did want to add on that peer pressure is real, and like peer pressure, I don't know, it's just a lot. But like, make sure you keep your mind right and focus on like as you get in high school, there's a lot of peer pressure. There's people that's gonna tell you do this, do that, and like I'm just saying like it's okay to say no, because it's okay to be different. Like, you don't have to put yourself in predicaments where you have to do this and you have to do that, or because you don't have to. You have a voice where you can just say no. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Thank you, young lady. All right. I forgot who I said goes after that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Who did I say was next? I can't remember. I think Zion. All right, Z.
Okay. Something that I want to say, during that's all that's going on is be proud to be Black, because I don't want to be, too, my age, but they hate us because they can't be us. Because the way our skin glows in the sun, and the way our hair, curls, and the way our bodies are shaped, and the way we handle stuff under pressure, and how we done, it's just no other race or anybody else can do what Black people can do. Like, who 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 puts heart shaped braid who puts a heart shape in braids? Like, who does that? Like, who makes a poundless pound cake? Like, who makes red velvet cake as better than we do? So I mean, just be glad to be Black, because it's a privilege to be African American. It's a privilege to be African American, even though that we're perceived as, wild or ghetto or loud. We were only loud, not heard. That's my take on that. But I'm just proud to be Black. Just be proud to be Black. That's all I have to say.
You make me want to do that. It's just like, yeah, right on, right on. All right, Destiny.
For high schoolers in general, it's time to just find that outlet that kind of is a way for you to forget about everything that's going on, because it's very easy for this to, I guess, have an effect on your mental health. And so just finding an outlet where you can be happy and just whatever it is, whether sports or reading, just find that place where you can get away from everything that's going on. And then to my Black high schoolers, in regards to racism, it is very hard, but as Zion says, it's a privilege to be Black. I mean, our culture is just um, so much different from everyone else's, and we have so many great historical figures and even people, celebrities now that we're going to make an influence. And one of the quotes that I have from that I like remind myself of from Martin Luther King is that he said, oftentimes the talented and dedicated minority is the one that changes the world. You're going to change the world, and you're going to get past everything that's going on right now.
All right, so that was a drop the mic moment, Destiny. That was a drop the mic, and then you ended quoting Dr. Martin Luther King. I love it. I absolutely love it. You guys are brilliant, bright young high schoolers, and I'm sure that your parents are proud of you, of the way that you've handled yourself. You articulated yourself, the stance that you're taking. Make sure that you stay in that. You are a light to a generation. And your skill set, your purview, your perspective, your ideas, they're needed. They're needed. So never think that because you are in high school and maybe not able to vote or whatever those cases may be, that you are powerless. You probably have more power than you do have more power than you realize. It's just learning how to exercise that power in order for you to begin to affect change even at an early age. I'm just enthused about the state of our world if it's going to be left in the hands of people just like you. So we're definitely proud and thank you. So guys, listen, these young people, we've decided to do this a couple of times. I think we're going to run it one more time next week. I just think it's necessary. They get a chance to speak on topics that may bother them, things that they think about, things that's on their heart, on their platform. And so next week we'll be right back at the same time at 12 for high school shelter in place and holiness. We'll have other topics, or it may be some of the same topics. As a matter of fact, guys, here's something that I'm thinking about. Maybe if you all could think about one thing that we could do going forward to change uh, this racism, to shift this racism. Think about something that you believe can help change it. We can kind of discuss that and talk about that the next time we all get together on this live. So if you all are wanting to follow any of these young people, I'm going to let them unmute themselves so they can give you their social media handles, and that that's their world. We have a blogger that's a part of this panel, Miss Destiny, so she'll give you that information. And yeah, follow them and participate with them. They got bright minds, great minds, but make sure that you're following them and you're not stalking them, because they all have parents who are crazy. And if you do something that you don't need to be doing, I feel like that fella on I forget the name of that movie. I have a certain set of skills, and I will find you, and you won't like it. So don't you stalk my babies, but definitely you can follow them and glean from their brilliance. So if you would just share your handles, guys, whatever those handles are, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or your blog, your website, let them know how they can get in touch with you.
My Instagram is destiny.ben22, Facebook Destiny Benjamin, and then the Instagram and Facebook for my blog is at What's Our Destiny, and the website www.whatsourdestiny, and then the link is also in the my bio for both the social media.
Awesome.
My Instagram is T McElveen, all lowercase, TMCELVEN, and I don't have Facebook.
Okay, no problem.
I do have Snapchat.
I think we might have lost him. Okay, Trinity. Oh, we lost Trinity too. Oh, she's back. All right, Trinity, what's your? Okay.
Okay. You can get up on Instagram at baby.trend with 4 N's. I think that's my Instagram, or is baby trend. Either one of them. But yeah, I think that's the only way you can get in touch with me.
All right. And they're just following. They ain't trying to get in touch to do nothing else but follow and comment on your blogs and that kind of thing. In Jesus' name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who might try to follow you. In Jesus' name. All right, Z.
Oh, okay.
Okay. On Facebook is Zion Chimneys, TRNYCE, and on Instagram is Zion.Chimneys.
All right. So there you have it, guys. That's how you can follow these young folk and continue to glean from their brilliance. These are rising stars, whether you believe it or not. You don't have to. I'm with many of them consistently. We don't have a passing acquaintance. I know what's in them and can't wait to see how God continues to unfold what they are. All right, so tonight, join me at 8:15. I'll be ministering in Dallas, Texas, virtually, of course. Virtually, of course. We'll share the link on our page a little later. Tomorrow is I can't remember what's happening tomorrow, but Friday we're doing something called Quarantine Quagmire for Singles. Inbox me, singles, if you'd like to be a part of that. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Quarantine Quagmire for Singles. We're going to be developing singles as they are navigating through this quarantine, and then, dare I say, the rest of their life. And then at 8:30, come in married couples, come in engaged couples. We're coming for you. It's date night and discussion with Bishop and Lady Brown. It's been great so far. It's only going to get, as my son used to say, gooder and gooder. So this Friday, 7 p.m., Quarantine Quagmire for Singles at 7, at 8:30. It'll be date night and discussion with Bishop and Lady Brown. Friday coming. Saturday at 10 a.m., we're doing something called The Pour for spiritual sons and daughters. Inbox me if you'd like to be a part of that. And Sunday morning, we're going forward one more time. You can join us on the Salt of Truths page at 10:30 a.m. A church alive is worth the drive. But although we're not driving right now, so we've changed it a bit, a church redeemed is worth the stream. Stream strong with SOT. 10:30, click on that link. Join us via any device that you may have. I got a word for you. I'm going to finish this lesson that I started called Got Faith with a big question mark. By the time I'm finished, you'll be able to say whether or not you have it because you actually need it in order to continue to navigate. So we'll see you at one or all of those great God events next week, Monday at 9 p.m., Millennials, Ministry, and Mess. Tuesday at 12 noon, College, COVID, and Christianity. And Wednesday at noon will be High School, Shelter in Place, and Holiness. We'll see you in any of those things. God bless. You guys stay on.